Danielle Bradbery is here. How much of a better singer do you think you are after being on The Voice? Or were you pretty much this good a year ago?
Well,
if you had to grade yourself as a singer.
I honestly think, the difference before The Voice, of course, and like from the beginning and just every step of the way towards the end of The Voice, I felt like I was more mature. I was more mature as an artist and on stage, and I definitely saw a difference in my voice. And I thought it got stronger, and it just kept getting stronger, and it was awesome.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
through the coaching and that process, you could feel the growth.
I really could, and just with the help with Blake, and when Blake, he was help right there when you need him, but if he couldn't get around, sometimes we had a voice coach at the hotel for us, and there's always help with our voice and just keeping it healthy and making sure we don't get sick, and,
right.
and I felt like there was a huge difference from everywhere, the beginning of The Voice from now.
So a huge moment for you a couple weeks ago playing at the Ryman.
Oh yeah, that was, I still can't wrap my finger around that. Being there on that stage, where I was standing, I was just thinking like, oh man, there's so much history that is where I'm standing right this second. And I could just feel the history in the room and just every little detail. It was just amazing to me, and getting to sing up there was such an honor.
Do you ever feel, moments like that and just everything that's happening to you right now, that you want to slow it down at all, or you're like trying to find a way to remember all these first? Like, are you keeping a journal, or is your mom or your aunt like scrapbooking everything, or how is this being documented in the Bradbery family?
With everything and keeping track, I think it's all in my mind. If that, it may sound crazy, but because everything's going so fast, but I try to find a way where I'm like, okay, that just happened, and I will never forget that. And I just try to take every moment one step at a time, no matter how fast it's going. So I'm doing good so far. So, I'm just taking everything one step at a time.
I would think probably a lot of it for you it's being documented because it's all on social media.
Yes.
So you can go back and look at it.
Exactly.
But somebody that was like 17, say 20 years ago, you would have had an aunt or a grandma that are going through and cutting, like, Danielle, I saw you in the paper. They'd be cutting things out. And so it's a different experience when you're 17 in 2013.
Yeah. Here and there, my family will keep the newspapers that has my picture, or the magazines in our hometown that have my face in it. They keep that because it's really awesome, and I think it's really cool coming downstairs at my house and just seeing that. I'm like, what the?
Whose life is this, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's just all like, I turn around and everything's just right there in front of me. It's amazing.
The album just out.
Yes, it actually came out yesterday.
You are excited? Are you nervous about it? What's your emotion about it?
I a little bit nervous, and it's really cool. Starting to get the opinions on everybody about my album. It's my first time, and it's cool seeing what other people think. And I feel like every song on my album has its own personality, and it's really unique. And I feel really cool getting to be able to say, "Oh, those are all mine." And the whole experience in the studio and just all around, I think it's so awesome. And it's my album. It's crazy.
Isn't that nuts? I know.
Yes.
You're a big girl now.
Yes, I'm a big girl.
What was the hardest part in the song selection process? If you think about, you spent like days or weeks like between these two songs, or what went into that?
It was really awesome because being in New York, I remember the first time I was in New York was the first time I got like 20 or 30 groups of songs. They emailed them to me while I was here.
No kidding.
So it was like, being here, so I like got handed over all these songs, and just those little things I always think about. And it was scary, like, okay, I have this, I'm responsible for all of these, and I'm responsible with picking all these songs to be be labeled as Danielle Bradbery's song. And I had to really think about, well, would this be too more mature? And my stomach's growling and sorry. I mean, I thought, well, is it going to be something people are going to want to hear on the radio all the time, or are they just going to think this sounds like every other thing?
Right.
And I mean, I listened to them very carefully, and I got excited getting those songs because I love hearing what other people have to, like, okay, here, do you want this to be your song? And I just pick out the little things, it's awesome, and it was really fun picking the songs.
It is interesting, though, that you thought of, radio and just all those other things that go into it. That you probably wouldn't, like, if somebody said make an album like 2 years ago, you wouldn't have thought about any of that stuff.
No.
Your world has changed so much.
Okay.
That's fine. Speaking of your world changing, you're doing online school right now.
Yes.
What is it you miss of school? Because this was your first fall. You didn't go any high school football games. What do you miss?
Well, I mean, they try to get me back home as much as they can, and I mean, if they can, it's probably maybe like a weekend, and I mean, that's totally fine with me to touch base at home real quick and then get back up on my feet. But I mean, not recently, but not too long ago, I actually did get to go to my homecoming and my football game, so that was really fun, but it was a lot different. And that I mean, it wasn't too crazy, but I mean, I went to the football game a couple of weeks after that, and that was a lot of craziness. So
if I was the homecoming queen, like on the night you showed up, I'd be so mad. I'd be like, she's so ruining my night, stealing my thunder.
Oh man,
I'm the queen. This is supposed to be about me, not the girl from The Voice.
I got to watch that. They were doing the queens and the kings, and
it's not your fault. I'm just saying. You can imagine how upset she was. You were there.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Have you thought about doing any sort of acting, or have people approached you about that?
A couple of people have asked me, I mean, would you be interested in acting? And I think I'm really awkward acting, but I mean, you never know until you try. So, I mean, I've always thought it'd be so cool to be in an action movie. Yeah. I want to be in an action movie.
Do you want to live through the whole thing, or you want to like get blown up at some point?
Ooh, I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting to do both. Yeah, I mean, one day if they asked me would you want to do an action movie? I'd be like, okay.
All right, we'll put it out there. There's a lot of people that make those kind of decisions in New York City.
Yeah.
So you never know. Danielle Bradbery, thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you.
The new album is out, which is called Danielle Bradbery.
Yes.
I don't know where you came up with that title.
I know, it's so difficult.
Thanks so much. We'll bring the band in now, and we'll play some songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.